Welcome. In today's video, I will be showing you how you can 10x the speed at which you learn sculpting in Nudo. And no kidding, bro. Not only have I gotten results for myself, but I'm also helping dozens of other artists getting results within as little as 14, 22. Yeah, you can see all of the results here. The course is free, by the way. And yeah, it's been amazing. So without any further ado, make it 2x speed, watch it on full screen, and don't let yourself be distracted. Let's dive in. The first thing that you need to do in order to 10x the speed at which you learn sculpting is find consistency. And consistency is important. I know this because personally I wasted 6 years trying to learn sculpt. This one over here, this is my first sculpt, by the way. I constantly tried picking this up, giving it up, and I was just disorganized. I thought that, okay, I just need to buy a course and I should follow one video a day. Boom, resolved. Bro, I bought multiple courses, spent hundreds of dollars, and it just did not work. I was just not disciplined. And because sculpting was so difficult, what I was doing instead, I was working on these low poly cute characters, because I just boxed model them with the cube and something, and I would make these low poly scenes. I would make these cute characters because they're so much easier, but it's not the style that I wanted to. And I just thought that I don't have enough time, I don't have structure, and all I was doing, bro, all the day was I was scrolling for hours mindlessly. I used to play video games, Fortnite, with the boys for 8+ hours every single day. I used to watch so much corn, bro. It was, yeah. And I would procrastinate and I would just watch tutorial. I thought that, okay, if I watch another tutorial, it's gonna be the solution that I need. Okay, I need to just watch, I need to find that perfect tutorial for me, bro. And the thing is that it just does not exist. And on top of that, bro, I had a full-time job where I was working 10+ hours. The job description said 9 to 6, but I was working overtime, unpaid. I even had to work on Saturdays sometimes. This was my salary, and to be honest, I just did not know what my self-worth was. So I thought it's a really good pay at that time, but now I know that it sucks. And on top of that 10 hours, it was a 1 hour commute there, 1 hour commute back. And it was just awful, bro. All this time, I just could not find time to sculpt or practice or anything. I got so exhausted. And yeah, it was pretty miserable, bro. Like, I had all of these dreams that I want to make characters, like the characters that I showed you here. These characters, I want to make these characters, bro. But I just don't know how. I want to become a great artist, but I just could not see it happening because of this lifestyle that I was stuck in. Because of the, oh my God, I skipped forward. Yeah, because of all of these distractions, it was just miserable. And then one day it happened. The final nail in the coffin. Yep. What happened was, it was a Saturday and my boss called me to the office, and I was pretty low that day. And I had an hour to think as I was commuting, and I was thinking about, like, bro, like, what the hell? What am I doing, bro? I just cannot live like this. And like, this is a Saturday. My boss calls me and I'm showing up. I'm going to the office. But when it's a Saturday and when it's time to work on my things, when it's time to finally practice, when it's time to finally learn the things that I want, I procrastinate, I slack. That is when I want to jerk off. That is when I want to watch a movie. But it doesn't matter if whatever mood I'm in, if I'm motivated, if I'm not, if I'm sick, if I'm in the mood for it, I still go to the office. But when it's time to work on my own thing, bro, when it's time to work on my dreams, I just want to procrastinate. I just want to find comfort. I need motivation, bro. Yeah, it just does not exist. And these are the realizations that I have, bro. Like, why am I working so hard for someone else? Like, if I can work this hard for someone else, bro, I should be working harder for myself. And I just realized, bro, that no one wakes up with the responsibility of making my life better. I'm working for this guy to make his life better, to achieve his dreams, but no one is going to do that for me. And the only person who can change my situation is me. There's never going to be a perfect time. I thought, okay, maybe I should just grind a while. I should see how it goes. And when the time is right, I'll quit my job. When the time is right, I'll do this, I'll do that. It just does not happen. The best time to do something is when you first have the thought. The second best time is literally right now. The time will never be perfect. And there are some things in your life that you cannot control. I just realized, bro, that I cannot control that I am in this job. I cannot quit this job right now. That is something that I cannot control. I cannot control the hours that my boss requires me to work. I cannot control that. The only thing that I can control is my routine. And I decided, like, I'll completely let go of the things that I cannot control, and I will look at what I can do. And the truth is, bro, I didn't know if it will work. I did not know, okay, if I quit my job, if I try working on this, if I try practicing, make all of these sacrifices, will it work? I just did not know. but the situation that I was in was pretty shit and I wanted to get out of it. So here's an analogy for you. And the analogy is really simple, bro. So where's the drawing tool, Canva? You can see, okay, here's the drawing tool. So the analogy is this, bro. Imagine that this is you, okay? You're standing here and there's the rope here, okay? And this is the platform where you want to go. So you have to travel the rope all the way down, and below here are all spikes. Now I cannot draw below this, but just imagine that below this is a pit, and if you fall, you will die. And I'm standing here, okay, with a mischievous smile on my face. And I ask you, hey bro, go ahead and walk this rope. You would never do it. Why would you do it? Why would you risk your life to walk this rope just because I said it? You wouldn't do it. But now imagine this, bro. I have a gun pointed to your head, and I'm like, hey bro, if you don't walk this rope, I will 100% shoot you in the head, blow your brains out. What are you going to do now? Now, in this situation, even though crossing the road is maybe like the rope is like 0.01%, you're still going to walk that rope. Will you not? Now, why would you walk this rope? Because if you walk the rope, there's a 0.01% chance that yes, you will make it through. But if you don't walk, there's a 100% chance that I will make your brain mush. I will turn your brain to mush. So that is what I thought. And it is literally life or death. We just do not realize the situation that we are in. They are literally life or death. So if I make all of these sacrifices, if I start to make some changes in my life, bro. Oh my God. How do you make the presentation again? Okay, here. Yep. Just a sec. I'm so bad at this. Yeah. So if I don't do the things that I'm supposed to do, there's like 100% chance that I will never quit this job. But if I start to be accountable, make some changes in my routine, start working hard, then maybe there's a 0.01% chance that I will be able to quit this job. And that is an odd that I was willing to take. So what I started to do, bro, is since I told you, like, it was a 9 to 6 job, it was a 1 hour long commute. I used to wake up around 7:30 so that I could get ready, have some breakfast and go to job. What I started to do was, if I can wake up for 7 a.m. for my boss, I can wake up at 5 a.m. for myself. And that is what I started to do. Every single morning, I started to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and for 1 to 2 hours, I would learn Blender every single day. I would practice on the weekends. Like, even if I did not feel like it, I wasn't in the mood of it, I would still do it. Because if I can show up to my job, I owe this to myself that I should be able to do it for myself. If I can work hard for someone, I should work harder for myself. And here's the thing that I realized, bro. I don't have to add time to do stuff. I just need to remove the time and stop doing the stupid shit that I was doing. For example, bro, I cannot add more time to sculpt if I'm jerking off every day. If I'm scrolling on social media for hours every day. If I'm playing video games for 8 hours a day. I cannot do it. Like, if on the weekend I'm just binging Netflix shows, binging porn, and if I'm just playing video games, of course I will not have time to sculpt. So instead of trying to add more time to sculpt on top of everything that I was doing, it was time to remove all of the bad stuff that I was doing and replace them with learning how to sculpt or learning Blender. And truth be told, bro, I did fail. And yeah, I wasn't always consistent with this waking up and every day, but progress is progress. And this is how life is, but you need to be able to learn and to adapt. So every day, if I wasn't able to wake up every day, I would identify the triggers. Okay, what is it that causes me to not sculpt? For example, when I woke up, I had my phone next to me, I would pick up my phone and I would start scrolling, and that day would be a waste. So I started putting my phone away. Or when I would set my alarm, I wouldn't wake up at 5 a.m. So what I started to do was to put my alarm somewhere far away so that I have to walk across the room so that I can turn off that alarm. And that is how slowly but surely you become more consistent with it. So you have to find the triggers that are affecting you, that are not allowing you to be consistent, and you need to remove them. You need to remove all of the distractions that you have. And yep, since I started doing that, bro, I was finally able to quit my job. I 10x my income from $200 to $2,000 a month. I became a top rated freelancer on Upwork, and I found a new full-time job. And that is amazing, bro. That is all because I was able to find consistency within that shit routine that I had and all of that busy schedule that I had. So I don't care what excuse you have. I don't care if you have a full-time job. I don't care if you're a student. I don't care whatever your routine is, bro. You can still find 1 hour of practicing every single day. You can do it. And if you say you can't do it, it's not, bro, I can't convince you otherwise. But if you're like, hey bro, I know I can do it, but I just do not know how, this is how. You be accountable. Look at this. You look at your screen time, bro. How many hours are you spending on social media? How many hours are you edging in the toilet? How many hours are you playing video games with your friends who are no use to you? Who distract you from your goals? They're not even your real friends, bro. How many hours do you spend doing all of that, and you still think that you cannot have 1 hour every day to do something that you are interested in? You have to be accountable. So the moral of the story is that the time is never going to be perfect. If you want to learn how to sculpt, if you want to get good at this, you need to start literally right now, like after this video. And I will show you how you can do it. Okay, you have to play the cards that you will. I could be like, hey bro, I have this shitty job and I have so many hours to work, I cannot do this. No, bro. Like whatever situation you are in, there's something that you can identify and something that you can change. Be responsible, be accountable. No one wakes up with the responsibility of making your life better. You are the only person who can do it. So do everything that is in your control and ignore everything that you cannot control. If you try to control the thing that you cannot, like for example, if you be unreasonable that, yeah, I just won't go to job, bro. That cannot happen, bro. You need something to survive. So that is something that you cannot negotiate with. You have a distracting family. Okay, they distract you. That is non-negotiable. That is something that you cannot control. So instead, wake up early when your family is asleep. Okay, you have very distracting friends. They keep texting all the time. Turn off your notifications, bro. You're addicted to social media. Delete social media off your phone. Use it on your browser. It's not going to be the end of the world. You need to be accountable. Okay. Yeah, you don't have a time problem. You have a priority problem. So, like I said, bro, you don't have a time problem. You have time. You're just spending it somewhere else on less important stuff. Procrastinating, pleasuring yourself. Stop doing that, bro. You don't have a time problem. You have a priority problem. Prioritize sculpting. Do this the first thing you do in the morning, and then I don't care whatever you do with it, bro. Just this single act of getting up early, practicing for 1 hour every day, this will completely change the game that you are playing. Okay? And yes, you do not have to add time. You have to remove time that you are not focused on your goals. And here are your action steps. So designate 1 hour of sculpting every day. The first step is to find consistency. If you are not consistent with this, no matter, the rest of the video will not make sense. I can give you the best tutorial. I can give you the best course for free. It will just not help you if you are unable to find consistency. So this is the first thing that you need to solve, bro. Designate 1 hour of sculpting every day. Write it down. The 1 hour that you are going to practice every single day. This is non-negotiable. Make it the first thing you do in the morning. This will help you. I promise this will help you so much, because when you wake up, you're not overstimulated. You haven't opened your phone. You haven't checked your phone. Your brain is still fresh. If you are able to do this first thing in the morning, it will make all of the difference. I showed you the results of my students, and all they do is practice for 1 hour every single day. You don't have to run marathons, bro. You don't have to sprint. You just have to practice for 1 hour every single day. Within a month, you will get results. I promise you. I will show you as well. And yeah, if you have distractions, wake up early. And yep, do not check your phone before sculpting is done. So take these action steps into account, and you will be able to be consistent. If you don't, then you'll be like this guy. You'll be like, yeah, I will sculpt after work. This is a Jerry, by the way. You're a Jerry if you do this. I will sculpt after work, bro. I will sculpt after I eat. I will sculpt after I rest. I will sculpt tomorrow. And this is the cycle that you are repeating right now. So stop doing it. By the way, meme credits to Vlad. He's one of the members inside the Da Vinci School. I love this meme, bro. Thank you for sharing this with me. Okay, so you found consistency, or maybe you're already consistent with this. You've been practicing a while, but the results that you are getting are slow. What do you do in that case? This brings me to step number 2, which is apply the Pareto's 80-20 principle. And what is the Pareto's 80-20 principle, you may ask? Good question. Let me tell you. The Pareto's 80-20 principle tells you that 20% of your effort will produce 80% results, and only a massive 80% of your efforts will only get you a measly 20% results. And let me give you an example. Okay, so let's take the English language as an example. The English dictionary has over 1 million words. It has over 1 million words, bro. But how many words do you use in day-to-day conversation? You use, I think, even less than 20% vocabulary to have 80% conversations. And you use 80% of the tough vocabulary that no one speaks, you've never heard this word of, for 20% conversation. Maybe you don't even need that. I did a chat GPT. I asked chat GPT like how many words do we use in day-to-day conversation, and it said 2,000 words. Like comfortable everyday conversation, you just need 2,000 words, bro. And out of 1 million, that's way less than 20%. I think it's like 0.2%, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I just did the math from the top of my head. Let me give you another example. So let's say you're working on Blender on any project, bro. You only use 20% of the total Blender tools available for 80% of your projects. And that is true. So just look into it. Just think about it. Blender has so many operations, so many tools, so many tabs, so many functions that Blender can do, bro. But you only use like about 20% of the tools for 80% of your projects. And the 80% tools, you don't even need them. The same thing goes for sculpting, bro. Like there are so many brushes when you're sculpting in Blender, but you only use 20% brushes. You just do the grab brush, the draw brush, the crease brush, the crease brush, or the smooth brush. Yeah, that's all of the brushes that I use, bro. And you use them for 80% of your sculpts. Maybe in some rare occasions, you might need a few of those niche brushes for 20% of the things that you want to do. But for 80% of your sculpts, you only need 20% brushes. Yeah. And how do you apply this to sculpting? Interesting. So sculpting has so many things, bro. By the way, this is everything that you do not need. This is the 80% stuff that is only getting you 20% result. All of this is 80% stuff getting you 20% result. And let's just as an example, bro. When I was learning how to sculpt, I just did not know, okay, which one of these things are some things that I need. Just as an example. By the way, you don't need any of this. You do not need any of this. This is just an example. So out of all of these things, if I knew that, okay, I just need to know the name of the bones, I just need to know the insertion points, I just need how to be good in drawing, and I need years of practice. If I just focus on these 4 things instead of these 10 things, you can imagine, bro, that I can learn I can learn to sculpt much faster. Similar to here, where let's say you want to learn how to speak English, instead of teaching you all of these complex words that you're never going to need, I can just teach you a few words, a bit of grammar, and you can strike a conversation with anyone. The same thing goes for sculpting, bro. You don't need all of this. You just need a few things. But at the point where I was, when I was learning this, I just did not know what that 20 to 80% ratio is. And every course that I bought, like they were just bloated anatomical terms. There was so much information. They had these complex anatomy diagrams, and I just did not know, okay, which advice do I actually need and which advice do I not? And it was just a mess for me. So the only way I could apply the 80-20 principle then, by the way, I will tell you everything. I will give you the 80-20 principle right now in this video, the things that you need and the things that you don't need. Okay. So in my situation where I did not know what to practice, this is how I applied the 80-20 principle. Now, I just thought that, okay, this is everything that I'm doing. I'm watching tutorials. I'm downloading random references from Pinterest and sculpting them. I'm watching courses. I'm also lighting my sculpts. I'm rendering them, posting them on social media. I'm practicing individual parts. I'm sculpting the body. I'm sculpting the face. I'm adding skin details. I'm UV unwrapping and I'm texturing. I was doing all of this in order to make good characters. And then I just sat down and I thought to myself, okay, bro, which one of these things really helped me improve sculpting? Which one of these things actually help me move forward versus they feel productive? Which one of these things are actually productive versus they feel productive? That is what I thought to myself. And there's a difference between being productive and feeling productive. You can sit in front of the computer for 4 hours, learn nothing. That is not productive. Or you can just practice for 1 hour on a specific area that you know that you need to work on, and you can make progress. The way that I like to define productivity is input versus output. How much time did I spend versus what is the result that I got? That is how I personally define productivity. And when I filtered through all of that, these are the things that I remained with. Instead of watching random tutorials that do not help me, instead of downloading random images, I will just watch one source of information. I will just buy one course and I will watch that course only. And I will only learn how to sculpt the face for now. Okay, I can learn all of this, but no, I will just learn how to sculpt the face, because adding skin details do not matter if my face sucks. If the face is shit, bro, no matter how much details I add to it, it's just not going to help it make it better. So what I did is I would just practice just the sculpts, and whenever I would feel stuck, I would practice individual parts. That is what I did. And let me show you some results. I should have opened up this slide earlier, but yeah, I have it now. So let me open it up now, and you can see here, bro. This is where I was randomly practicing everything from 2008 to 2023, 5-6 years wasted. And this is where I got deliberate with my practice. So you can see here, bro, every single day I would just practice the face. It was miserable. It sucked, bro. And I would just practice the things that I knew that I sucked at. So you can see up till here, I was lighting my sculpts. And I realized that I do not need to light them in order to make them better. So after this, you can still see, you can see that I stopped lighting them completely. I stopped posting them. I stopped rendering them. Even in 2024, you can see I got much better, but I still wasn't lighting my sculpts. Apart from this was like for the last year. And even now, you can see a lot of my sculpts, I just do not light them. And you can see the progress that I've been making. And that is all because I only focus on the things that actually move me forward. Instead of feeling productive, I like to be productive. Okay. And here's everything that you don't need, bro. You just need to realize that you are an artist. You are not a doctor. The reason that you're not getting results, or the reason that your results are taking so long, is because you are learning all of this. And all of this is the 80% stuff that is only giving you 20% results. So now you may ask, Ishaq, what is the 20% stuff that I need to do in order to get 80% results? How can I skyrocket my results? Let me show you. The only things that you need is a few muscle groups, is 1 hour of practice every day, and you need to practice deliberately, and you need good observation. That is it. If you have these 4 things, bro, you will get insane results, and I have proof to show you. So let me show you. You can see Henry, who joined the Da Vinci School, and within 13 days, this is his result. This course was the best course that I've seen in 5 years, and probably the most intuitive and unoverwhelming, if that word even exists. Ishaq, you are really able to teach anatomy in the most unique way that I've ever seen. And my unique way is not overwhelming you with these bullshit terms. I know how much it sucked for me when I was learning how to sculpt. So I don't do it, and you do not need it. And you can see all of the results here. So you can see, yeah, no, you can read it for them. Day 30, Frank sculpted Kratos. How cool is that? And you don't need all of this, bro. So when you apply the 80-20 principle, you will skyrocket your results. Now, this is step 1, step 2, and let me now finally go to step number 3. The third thing that you need in order to 10x your results is you need to practice deliberately. And what do I mean by this, bro? There's a difference between practicing something mindlessly, downloading random references, and practicing whatever you think is cool versus practicing deliberately. So let me give you an example. An example is, imagine that you are preparing for a mathematics exam. And the chapter that you struggle with is algebra. So algebra is something that you just do not understand. You're like, bro, like I don't understand algebra. Now tell me, bro, does it make any sense that you're stuck at algebra, but you go to the front cover of the book and start from subtraction, go to chapter 2, angles, learn angles, then learn algebra, and yeah, you go back all the way here just to read algebra? Does that make any sense? And this is what I see a lot of people doing. A lot of GREs, what they do, bro, is that they know that they are stuck at the eyes. But every time they go to sculpt, they will block out a face from scratch, start a face from scratch, and it just does not work, bro. Also, like, does it make any sense that you're stuck in algebra, but then you move forward and try to learning calculus? It just does not make any sense, bro. You first need to learn algebra so that calculus can make a bit of sense. Now, you're a smart ass now, but when it comes time for you to learn how to sculpt, bro, then you become a GRE. Okay, and now let's apply the same analogy to sculpting. Think of sculpting as chapters. So chapter number 1 is where you learn how to block the face out. Chapter number 2 is where you learn, okay, this is where I place the eyes, nose, the ears. Chapter number 3 is where you start detailing those things. Chapter number 4 is when you finalize the face. Now let me tell you, bro, if you suck at chapter 1, if you cannot block out a decent face, no matter if you make the most beautiful eyes in the whole world, it's just not going to look good. If the base sucks, then no matter how many details you add, it's going to suck. If you do not know where to place the eyes and the nose, you can still make the most beautiful eyes. It will just not make any sense. So the most important thing is that you take sculpting step by step. You do not skip. You practice deliberately. If you suck at blocking out the face, don't bother making the eyes. Don't bother making the nose. Don't bother making the mouth, bro. Because the thing that you suck at is blocking the face out. So just learn how to block the face out. And once you've learned how to block the face out and now you're struggling with the eyes, don't bother going and blocking out the face from scratch every time you sit down to practice, bro. You know you suck at the eyes, so just practice the eyes. This is what will 10x your growth, bro. Being intentional about what you practice with. And if you do not know what to practice, if you need a step-by-step approach, you can get my free 1-month health sculpting challenge, bro. It's absolutely free. It's absolutely step-by-step. You get it It's non-medical. I don't overwhelm you with bullshit anatomical terms, and everything follows the 80-20 principle. And if you're a bit more serious, if you really want to get insane results, then you can just book a call with me and you can apply for the Sculpting Fastlane. By the way, I only have a few days left for this and 6 slots, then the doors are closing. So if you're really serious about this, just book a call with me and I will walk you through exactly how I can get you from where you're stuck right now in tutorial hill to confidently sculpting full body correctors within the next 3 months. And I'm so confident that if it does not work, I will work with you for free until you do. Okay, so this is how you 10x the speed at which you learn how to sculpt. I'll see you next time. Join the free community or book a call right now. Here's a fist bump. Goodbye.